What's good, y'all? Kid Jerome here. I'm working my way through 1001 albums you must hear before you die, and the 27th one is Déjà Vu. Déjà Vu is the debut album by folk rock supergroup Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, released March of 1970. It's notable for being the first album released with the addition of Neil Young, and the second project by Crosby, Stills, and Nash entirely. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young are multi-instrumentalists. They're all songwriters, all vocalists. There's a lot of sauce going into the pot here. There's a lot we have to work with. So you would expect it to be incredible. You would expect it to be absolutely phenomenal music. So what we ultimately have going on here is just a traditional rock band structure with extra add-ons, with some whipped cream on the top, a little bit of sprinkles. What makes Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young really stand out from their contemporaries is their use of vocal harmonies. Since we have 4 vocalists in this group, we have 4 people that we can harmonize with, that can sing together. We have enough people for a whole barbershop quartet here. So they really use this technique to its fullest advantage. Most of the vocals on this album are harmonized vocals. The heavy use of this technique gives the band a signature sound. It really makes them who they are, but I fear that it also holds them back in certain ways. I think it adds an expressive ceiling to their sound. When you have 4 vocalists with vastly different ranges, all trying to meet each other's relative range, it can be a little bit difficult to express yourself in the same way you could if you were singing by yourself. You can't hit the same highs that maybe 2 of the other 4 people can, and you can't reach the same lows that maybe one of them can. So what you end up with is this very limited scope, this very shallow set of notes that you have to work with. And I fear that it really pigeonholes them. It forces them to write in certain ways, to sing in certain ways, to play in certain keys. And I think this contributed to a lot of the songs sounding the same. The most frustrating part of this album for me is the lyrical content. Usually, I'm not too critical of the lyrics. They're the least important part of the song for me. I feel like the music is more important. I feel like the vibe is more important. The energy is more important. The lyrics can honestly be nonsense as long as they fit the energy of the song, as long as they serve its purpose. But the lyrics on this album are so egregious that I really have to shed some light on them. They're kind of fake deep, if you know what I'm trying to say. Almost Cut My Hair has very dramatic instrumentation. It's a very cool song. It's a very cool concept. This idea of not wanting to cut your hair despite what society might think of you, despite what sort of pressures you might be feeling in your everyday life. It's rife with influence. There is so much to be said about this concept, right? There's so many directions you could go with it. So why does Steven Stills go in no directions with it? Why can't he think of a single thing to say? He says, and I quote, "I didn't, and I don't know why." Cool. So why'd you write a song about it? And then he says later, "I feel like I owe it to someone." Just very vague writing, not really taking any stances, not really introducing any nuance. The concept is here. You understand the concept. That's all you're getting. It's not exactly deep when you don't go any further past the title of the song. Helpless is a song about Neil Young's hometown, just a very small town in Canada. He's talking about his humble origin story, right? So if someone asks you about yourself, I'm sure you could talk nonstop for hours. I'm sure that you have no shortage of things to say about yourself. I mean, myself is the person I know the best, right? So why is it that when Neil Young is presented with an opportunity to write a song about himself, he says that his hometown has, hold on, I made a list, hold on. These are the things that are notable about his hometown. These are the things he felt like pointing out. Hold on, I got a list, hold on. It has a moon. You can see the stars there. And sometimes there's also birds, and you can hear them. So what makes his hometown significant, what he thought were the most important things about his hometown, what he thought was song-worthy about his hometown, was that there was a moon, stars, and birds. Woodstock is a story about two people meeting and walking to Woodstock, the legendary hippie festival of the 60s, which Crosby, Stills, and Nash played at. They have a lot to write about concerning Woodstock. How many people do you know, personally, that were at Woodstock? Like, probably none. But they were there. They could say anything in the world. This was just a couple years removed from Woodstock. I mean, this was their platform. This was their moment. And what they said was they got there, they saw 5 million people, and this is another amazing quote. Dreaming that bomber jets turn into butterflies. So, okay. The solution to violence was hippies gathering en masse. The songs are largely static, largely formulaic, which is absolutely shocking to me considering who wrote these songs. These are some of the most talented musicians in rock history, and they gave us hippie elevator music. It's just disheartening. Most of the songs live in mezzo forte. There's a couple mezzo piano songs, but they don't really shift in energy or volume throughout. They don't really evolve significantly in these ways. Most of the songs just sort of serve as a platform for their harmonies and for their guitar solos. They're just having fun with it, but in uninteresting ways, in my opinion, right? There's a couple standout moments. There's a couple moments that sort of go against the grain, and these are the best moments on the album, in my opinion. The Déjà Vu bridge is interesting, but I feel like it plays its entire hand a little bit too early. It refuses to grow when it would have greatly benefited from it, and instead just sort of fades out. Another missed opportunity. Our House's chorus is the catchiest moment of the album for me. I can't get it out of my head, but it's sort of just that one line, just that one house, and that's it. That's all you get. So I just sort of walk around the kitchen thinking house, and I don't know what comes after that. I mean, they just sort of trail off into their nothingisms again. Everybody, I love you. The bridge is interesting, but you have to sort of make it past the first half of the song to get there. The first half is this sort of uninspired hippie butt rock. It's just all in your face, all at once. It fails to introduce the characters gradually, and this can be done well, but it wasn't in this instance. And I don't know. I feel like even if the song has a really, really, really good part, the rest of it has to be at least tolerable, right? And when I got to the 10th song, when I got to that outro track, I was just kind of over it. Déjà Vu is a slog of an album. Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young got lost in their own sauce and wrote an album based on vibes alone, neglecting to say anything meaningful or compose anything interesting. These are very talented musicians. I see the appeal, certainly, but it's not for me, and I won't be coming back for a while. Some songs that really did stick out to me were 4+20 and Everybody I Love You. I would recommend this album to, I don't know, people that are old enough to have been at Woodstock and the Octopus Garden employees. I'm gonna have to give it a 3 out of 10. What? Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you thought about the album in the comments below. Make sure you leave a like if you appreciate anything I had to say. That really helps me out. Go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss my next video. Until then, peace.